So the ulama says that there's 4 types of faqr. The word in Arabic for impoverishment is faqr. And it could refer to actually not having something. And that's actually the 3rd category, is faqrun min al-mal, not having wealth. But there's 2 that come before that. The first is faqrun min ad-din, being impoverished in relation to your religion. And that's where there's something that you need for your deen, but you don't have. It could be like a knowledge that you need to know. It could be like a particular question that you have. It could be like being around certain people, whatever it might be. There's an impoverishment that you have in relation to your deen. And that could also manifest on Yawm al-Qiyamah, where you are the true person who's bankrupt, where you come with good deeds, but what happens is that you've insulted people and you've harmed people and done many things, and they start to take from your good deeds. So that is one of the worst types of faqr. And that's one of the types of faqr that the Prophet ﷺ sought refuge in Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala from, because he said, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-faqr. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from faqr, from poverty. That's one of the first meanings, is poverty in relation to your deen. And closely related to that is the second category, which is faqrun min al-yaqeen, not having the degree of certainty that we should have, which leads to things like fearing poverty. And one time there was a story where there was a few students studying with one of their teachers, and the teachers asked them, what was the faqr, the poverty that the Prophet ﷺ sought refuge in Allah from? And then one of them said the outward meaning, that someone not have wealth. And then they were then instructed by someone who knew that the correct answer would have been there to say, I don't know, please tell us, instead of answering the question. And so they kept studying with this same teacher, and then, because he was a person of inner sight, asked the same question again eventually. And they said, we don't know, Sayyidi, you tell us. And he said that the poverty that the Prophet ﷺ sought refuge in was the fear of poverty. Because you could be the wealthiest person in the world, but if you fear poverty, you'll be poor. You'll be in a constant state of agitation. So fearing poverty that comes from a lack of certainty in trust in the Razaq, the one who provides, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all of the other meanings that stem from that. And then the third type of poverty is that faqrun min al-mal, not having enough wealth. And so the first 2 categories, the scholars say, are madhmum, they're blameworthy. We have to work and learn our deen consistently. That same theme of learning regularly, just as we have to work on improving the state of our certainty. And then the third category of actually not having enough wealth is that the scholars say, if someone is content and they have the ability to remain patient, it's not blameworthy not to have wealth. And in fact, it is those who are lacking wealth in this world and don't have the means that will enter into paradise so much quicker than the people who do. And if someone actually has the ability to remain patient and be content and not envy the person of wealth because of what they have or desire what's in their hands and so forth, it's actually a lofty station and can be very spiritually good for them. I know that's a very strange way in a Western mentality, a perspective to put forth, but that is what the ulama say. And as our teachers, I remember Shaykh Hamza saying this, said, is that we've lost in many ways in the modern world the sense of honorable poverty. Many of the great people of Islam, scholars, righteous people, were extremely poor. Many of them didn't have a lot of wealth. And one of the things that Marabat al-Hajj told Shaykh Hamza, as I recall, is that knowledge is the wealth of the poor. And what he meant by that is that generally speaking, is that the vast majority of knowledgeable people and people that were open and willing and able to free themselves up to learn, that just was their predicament here in this world. So there's a lot to be said for that. So the fourth category is faqrun mimma siwa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where we have faqr from everything other than Allah. And what that means is that we find our ghina, because the opposite of faqr is ghina, is that we find our sufficiency with Allah. And so we're impoverished in the sense of everything other than Allah. In other words, is that we don't feel in need of it. And this only comes from us actualizing that trait inside of us where we feel in need of Allah in every moment. That is one of the most blessed moments of our lives, is where you and I feel in need of Allah. And we should bring this to heart when we're alone. Ya Rab, I'm in absolute need of you. And the more that we do that, the more that state will carry over. And Allah shows us that we're in need of Him. When we get sick, when we get injured, when we're not able to do something that we want to do, when we're tired. Faqar, Ya Rab, I am impoverished. And I'm content. And I'm broken before you, Ya Rab. This is a beautiful state to be in. And one of the beautiful du'as of Imam Hassan al-Shadhili, which these are the great Imams, when they ask these things, we just seek barakah through their words, even though we're the most distant of people from them. But we ask Allah Ta'ala to bless us with something of these realities, even if it just be a little bit. As'aluka al-faqra amma siwak. I ask you to be in a state of impoverishment in relation to everything other than you. Wal ghina bik, and to find my sufficiency through you, hatta la nashhad illa iyak, so that we only witness you. In other words, is that by being impoverished and not in need of the world, is that this helps us be more aware of our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.